Okay, so here I am at Dr. Johnson's office we're going to do the results of my blood work today, and so we're just waiting for him to get in. As soon as he comes in, we'll go over all the tests that he did on my blood and the results, and then what we'll do is in 2 months we'll come back to see how my blood work has changed compared to my baseline. So anyways, snacking on some pretzels, waiting for Dr. Johnson. Gluten-free. We gotta get him to the hospital ASAP.
We're surprised you're even alive.
Yeah, we draw the line of mouth to mouth though, man.
Yeah,
we'll do chest compressions, but yeah, after that, we'll have to get a nurse from mouth to mouth. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so if we kind of, you know, the first thing that we're looking at here is called the C-reactive protein. Okay. Cardiac. So this is a marker for smoldering inflammation in the body. Okay. Another term is sometimes they call this is highly sensitive C-reactive protein, right? Just say your test is awesome. Okay. I mean, good to know. Less than 1 is fabulous. Anything, you know, less than 3 is, you know, is great, but less than 1 is really, really good.
So 0.24.
Yeah. This is a great test though, because it'll be fascinating, because oftentimes when we change lifestyles and we change, you know, dietary habits, you see these inflammatory markers rise. Okay. You know, and that's a huge risk factor. So if someone had normal cholesterol but high inflammation, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Moderately elevated cholesterol but low inflammation, you've got some room to work with there.
Okay.
You know.
That's good to know. Yeah, I think that'll be good for a lot of my followers who, you know, go by just your cholesterol. And, you know, if they're good, then they're good, but this is great to...
Okay, so the next panel is the amino acid profile.
Gotcha. Okay.
And basically what we're looking at here are, again, just a plethora of all the different types of amino acids that are circulating in the body. As you can see, one of those flagged a little bit high that day.
Taurine.
Yeah, but that's typically in supplements.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So if you're taking supplements.
Yeah, so we're taking some pre-workout stuff or something like that, there's going to be some taurine. And then the rest of these are just, you know, this is a good baseline to say, okay, this is where we're at. And then it'll be nice to kind of look at it and say, did it change, you know, in any negative way?
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Okay. Then this is where we start to get into some more of the routine tests, like blood sugar, or glucose as we call it. Now granted, 89, that's a great level. Of course, you know, that's a snapshot, that's the Polaroid.
Yeah.
You know, boom, what was your sugar at that second of that day? Yeah. But still, to catch it randomly at 89, that's great.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll take it.
Yep, exactly. And as we drop down, all these fancy words to the left are telling me about kidney function, and then it gets into proteins in the blood, as well as eventually liver function, which was predominantly this AST, ALT, and triglycerides, which, as you know, is a storage form of fat that we make coming from dietary choices, predominantly sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's thyroid function. We did 3 thyroid tests. One is the marker TSH.
Okay.
That's from the pituitary to the thyroid gland.
Okay.
So its job is to say, hey, gland, make some hormones. Okay. And then the gland will crank out, you know, a few different hormones. The most important one is what we call thyroid hormone 3, or T3. Okay. And 3.2, not bad. Okay. And then that's where that T4 is another one of the thyroid hormones there, and 1.46 is fine. That's a good level, okay? And then here comes a couple interesting hormones, right?
Yeah. Number 1,
insulin-like growth factor 1. This is IGF-1.
Gotcha, yes.
Okay, you'll see that in readings. This is a friend, okay? We like IGF-1.
Yes.
Because it's a breakdown product of human growth hormone.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and human growth hormone breaks down to a lot of things, but this is one of the main, you know, metabolites of it. And so there's a direct correlation between the more IGF-1 I have in my body, the better my HGH, or human growth hormone production, which we know is kind of the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Okay. So to have a 254, that's awesome.
So that's good.
Yeah, those are some good choices. You're making some good choices, and exercise, huge in raising that.
Yeah.
Okay. Most men, when they're talking about their testosterone levels, this is the one they refer to.
Okay. Yeah.
This one's bound to a protein in the blood, though. So it's kind of cruising through the bloodstream attached. Okay. When it arrives at the destination, say a muscle cell, then it detaches. Now, DHEA is a hormone that comes from the adrenal
gland,
predominantly,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So DHEA, I mean, brain function, kind of battles cortisol levels in the body. I mean, you know, it's a player, right?
Yeah.
So 253, not bad, but
Not
you
bad.
can see you could almost double that and still be.
Okay.
Yeah, good little hormone. Helps sensitize insulin,
Mm-hmm.
helps burn fat through the belly. You know, I mean, it's a good one. So it'll be interesting to see how that does.
Okay.
On your journey. And then here comes CBC, which is kind of a routine, complete blood count, as we call it. It's
Okay.
looking at your white blood cells, red blood cells, all the subcomponents to each. Make sure that, you know, you're producing those in an appropriate amount, those look great.
Okay.
Okay. Now, right underneath that, there's a test called the hemoglobin A1C.
Yes.
Okay, that's the diabetic marker.
Mm-hmm.
So anything below 5.7 we like.
Yeah.
If you're around 5.7 to 6.4, you're considered pre-diabetic.
Wow.
If you get above 6.4, you're into the diabetic range. Basically,
Wow.
this test is a percentage. So this is your level at 5.2%.
Yeah.
You know, is excellent. And then we tested the insulin just to say, okay, how are you producing insulin?
Okay.
You know, without much food in your system, those numbers are right where they should be.
Okay.
Okay. And then on the next page, it does give us the information about the cholesterol. So that's what the -C means. That's the
Okay.
cholesterol itself. So LDL-C at 48, awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Cholesterol is not the alligator in the pond that's going to
Okay.
mess with you, but still, these are good numbers. And then there's your HDL. Anything above 40, we love.
Wow. That's the highest it's ever been. For me.
63 is awesome.
Usually mine's in like the mid 40s.
Yeah, that's clean living right there.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So
really
good
nice.
job.
Cool.
And so your average LDL particle is 21. So anything above 20 we like.
Okay.
So this puts you in a very low risk category for cardiovascular disease, which is the #1 killer in the United States. Now on the next page, this is another component of this panel that gives us great information because it's an insulin resistance score.
Okay.
And again, as we mentioned, that's epidemic in the United States because of poor food choices and the amount of sugar that we consume on a daily basis. And so, again, less than 25, phenomenal.
Okay.
They're not even detecting any insulin resistance.
Good.
Okay?
I don't want it.
No, you don't. So that's awesome. And then here's troponin, as we measured, another indicator on how that heart's doing and so on, as well as the term homocysteine, and both of those levels are great.
Awesome.
Okay?
That's good to know.
Sedimentation rate, or that's just another inflammatory marker. It doesn't really tell us where it's coming from. It just says,
Okay.
is there inflammation in the system? It's a little different test than the C-reactive protein, you know, highly sensitive one or the cardiac one we did on the first page.
Yeah.
So I like to run both because it gives you different angles of inflammation in the body, you know,
Yeah.
different information. And so, and your level at 2 is great.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll change.
Vitamin D, you get a gold star and a smiley face, okay? Because 97, that's a phenomenal.
Like I
level.
said, I was going to be good in vitamin D. I went to Hawaii right before, so my vitamin D level
That
should
is
be good.
the best way to raise your vitamin
Just go to
D.
Hawaii. It's a new supplement. Here's a
We just can't get
prescription.
that pre-authorized by insurances, man. They won't cover it.
Oh,
But
man.
that is the best way. Okay, so this
Okay.
last panel that we did down here at the bottom called IgG allergens, this is a screen of about 9 different types of foods that are measuring antibodies against these foods.
Okay.
Okay. The higher the antibody, the more irritating that food is to my system. But these would not be food allergies. So these wouldn't cause your throat to swell or
Okay.
give you hives or an immediate reaction. These are more what we use the term intolerance
Okay.
or sensitivities. So, I mean, so that, you know, we looked at some antibodies. That's why it says IgG, that's the antibody,
Okay.
to wheat. So less than 2 is normal.
Okay. Mine's 20.
Yeah, so that would be elevated.
Wow. So does that mean, can you technically say I'm gluten intolerant?
Well, that's
Or
a good
wheat
question.
intolerant? Is it wheat intolerant?
Not severe,
Okay.
mild.
Mild. Okay. So you're
Interesting,
saying this
huh?
gluten-free will help with that?
It's supposed to. We're going to see.
We'll see. I gotta keep eating then.
Now, if you get inflamed, then we didn't help you much, did we?
Exactly. I might have cured that one. When
And so, but if you turn the page, this is where it gets into a couple other foods.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I've never seen this test before.
Now, high, as you can see, there's a few.
Yeah.
He's pounding 1,000.
Basically, I'm intolerant to everything.
You can have water.
I got water. I'm not intolerant to water.
And if you want, you can squeeze lemon in it. Okay, so yeah, and so the point is though too is that if you don't run the right antibodies, you'll miss. So it's a very specific test for these type of antibodies towards these foods. So as you mentioned earlier, it would be an intolerance, not necessarily an allergy. So that's why I can eat it, and I don't have a lot of issues with it.
Yeah, I know.
You've seen that too.
I know I'm
Yeah,
already
absolutely.
lactose intolerant, even though I haven't seen one of these tests on it. Just from my reactions to dairy, I know I'm lactose intolerant.
See, I love that because I don't care what a blood test says. If
Yeah.
you eat it and it messes with you, don't eat it.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science.
Yes.
But as you know, some guys, they don't care. Oh
Yeah.
man, that lit me up, and they just kind of keep eating the dang thing, And
Yeah.
they but as you know, lactose is the sugar in the milk.
Yeah.
Casein is the protein.
Exactly.
But see, in the world of exercise, casein's a very popular protein
Sure.
because of marketing.
So another one I'm looking at is chocolate cacao, for example. I didn't know.
Now,
Yes.
chocolate, anything less than 10, we don't get worked up on.
Okay.
So you can have chocolate on your rice and with your water. And so, eggs, you're actually okay with. Don't worry about eggs.
Okay, because I do eat a lot of eggs.
Well, eggs break down into a very small peptide, or protein in the body. And so
Sure.
if there's any permeability, they're just going to enter the bloodstream. So we don't get worked up with eggs unless they're really high.
Okay. Okay. No, that's good to know. It'll be interesting to see where I get back at the end, right? So in 2 months from now, I expect a lot of these to, get a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I want to
And
show.
some of them might get better.
So they could, like the gluten one.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, everything's bad, but you're gluten. You're good. You haven't had any gluten. I'll be like your little guinea pig. Lab rat. All right, give them some gluten-free pretzels.
Right. But this type of extensive testing, very compelling.
Yep.
And will really help as you document your story to help people understand.
Yeah.
There's a difference between real clean living and marketed clean living.
Yeah. That's a good point.